motherhood as a lesbian. So this topic really came to fold as I was thinking about the fact that I'm 30. And I know that I definitely want to have children. That's something that's really important to me. I want to procreate and actually have a child in my belly and give birth to it, right? So it made me think about, like, what does that mean for me? I know, no, it's really, really important because I believe in, like, you know, motherhood, and I had a really awesome mother, and I think I'll be an awesome mother. But as a same gender loving woman, I had to really, what are my different options? Do I have it as a single person? Do I have it in a coupleship? What does that all look like for me? So the interesting thing that I found out after doing a little research on gay parenting was, on Lambda Legal, they stated that 6 to 10 million lesbians and gays actually are parents within the United States of America. That's a lot of people that are raising children who identify as same-gender loving. And the more interesting fact about that was that between 8 to 12 million children are being raised by gay and lesbian families. That's a lot of children that's being raised by gay and lesbian people. So they can say that we're not a force to be reckoned with, but according to the statistics, you know, a lot of people who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered are actually raising children on a day-to-day basis. So it made me think about what are the different ways that people actually have babies, right? And so, interesting.
So there's a bird and a bee,
right? Well, there's a bird and a bee, but for us it's a little bit different because it's like a bird and a bee and a bee. So how do you know, make all this stuff happen? So of course there's like the artificial insemination. You go to the, you know, sperm bank, you get some sperm, and you inject it, and you get pregnant. Hopefully. And then there's also like in vitro, where you take your egg and your partner's egg, and or you can vice versa, right? And so you like impregnate the egg of your partner, then put it inside of you, and that's really interesting. And then there's like the other way that has a lot of controversy behind it, which is one of the things I want to talk about today, which is the old-fashioned way. Well, before I get to old-fashioned way, wait. Then there's adoption. We got to put adoption out there because there are many, many children who need to be adopted out of the system. But if you want to actually give birth, the other controversial way is, you know, you having sex with a man and getting pregnant.
That is not going to happen.
I was with guys back in the day. If I didn't get pregnant then, thank God. But if, then it's like now I'm at this point, and it's like, okay, I want to have a baby, but I don't really believe in, like, I can't afford. Let me say that first. Afford, like, going to go get some sperm with this whole in vitro thing, right?
There's a couple things here.
Right.
I think that, there is a fee associated with doing in vitro, artificial insemination, and it can be very expensive. However, I think alternatives to that can be, if you're in a lesbian relationship and you have a sibling, a participating sibling, male sibling, let's be clear, who's able to donate so that there is a shared DNA amongst that child. I think that's a great option and a way to get around in vitro. However, for only children, like myself, not that I'm looking to have any kids, be clear. I think that there are, if I did decide to go that route, I think that getting that option, that sample from the sperm bank, and me and my partner working it out together and doing that insemination ourselves, I think that's a viable option. I could take that $10,000–$15,000 because it's $10–$15,000 per try.
Yeah,
per
that's
try
which is a lot of money.
Try to have a kid.
But then you have to raise
we
this
can actually
child
do that
without a father.
And then
so
for
how
some,
is that? I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Well, you raising this child without a father. That's my only thing with having a child.
Right.
The unnatural way.
Right.
But if you have it the natural way, their father might not be there.
What's
anyway.
There's an option. What's the
I had a question from y'all. Well, actually, I'm parents. I have two wonderful girls. My second child is from artificial insemination. Me and my partner did that together. We picked out the sperm. We went somewhere here in Charlotte.
Was it purple? What do you mean picked out the sperm?
We went online, California Crown Bank, and picked out whatever we wanted to pick out.
So they just have like a list of like, you know, you can just choose. I want that,
Well,
and
you
that.
actually can, and it's not that expensive actually. When
Okay.
you go through IUF, which that is artificial insemination, it's only $3,000. It depends on what type of semen that you choose. Now, if you go through
The choose semen.
yeah, you have to choose.
During the recession.
Plus, they
During the recession.
plus,
About that last.
plus now, as you are choosing your sperm, they also have background on the donors, and so you know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So how are you going to feel if the child, you know, grows up and says, well, what is my father? How do I look? What is my father?
We have that. We have every.
But they want to meet the father.
She can do that when she get 18. She has.
Does the father want to meet the child?
Yes. It's all in
The rules.
In the selection process.
In the rules.
So you choose what options you want.
See, that's how
I'm
much I
assuming.
don't know.
So I'm assuming that you're actually choosing. Now I just want to know, can I get a discount on an Ivy League? If somebody
I need you not to be asking for. I know it's a recession. You can't ask for a discount. Thank you so much. So here's the thing that's really important to me. So two things come up for me. One, around the fact that it's very important for me for my child's father to be in my life. So it's great to hear that there are options around artificial. It's artificial. The name itself throws me off. But artificial insemination. That there are options to actually have the child in your father's life. But the thing that gets me about artificial insemination sometimes is that I have these friends who are like black lesbian couples. And one person may be a little lighter skin, a little darker skin. So they say, I want to get me a Puerto Rican man, or I want to get me a white dude. And not saying there's anything wrong with Puerto Ricans and white people, but I'm just saying, like, you feel that that's the sperm that you have to get for your child to come out and create and look in some type of way. That when that kind of stuff gets up in the mix, then I think we're dealing with bigger problems. But we have another question from the audience, and we can keep going.
Okay.
Well, what happens when you're dating a more dominant female and they don't want you to go the old-fashioned way, and you can't afford to go the
Artificial way.
$1,000 way or whatever, and you know, then you stand a chance of losing, like Jay, for instance, a more dominant person because you want a baby and you go out and you get a baby. And you lost your James, you know.
That seems a little different.
On a more dominant, being that if you have a dominant baby, you know, it's harder for a woman who wants a child.
They just wouldn't want you to have that intimacy with someone else.
Right.
Right.
So I think, well, in that, so we talked about recessions. Get some coupons and you set up a bank.